Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Reporting live from Sickville, USA. That's Sickville. I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization, and I am currently moving into Sickville.
So, are you in? Is Sickville a neighbor of where were you last week? Ham City? Is Sickville a neighboring burg to it?
Wow, continuing lore throughout the episodes? Who are we? Yes, Ham City is in fact a sister city, in fact, of Sickville.
I see. Well, I'm currently packing my bags. I am white flighting out of Sickville now that all of these funny guys are moving in. 'Cause I'm less sick. Also, I'm more Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
Did you get us sick? Were you spitting on your microphone and just sending your germs through the airwaves?
100%. As I was flying back from Arizona, I said, slow down the plane! I need to hawk a loogie down their chimney! And then it dinked off Khadgar's head and went right into your nostrils.
He does have a very bounceable head when it comes to saliva projectiles coming out of my chimney from an airplane.
You know, I've hawked a loogie at him a couple times and he just keeps headbutting the things. I knew he'd be up to the task.
Jokes aside, he is a very slobbery kitty, so this does check out.
Ugh, don't remind me about how slobbery he is. Whenever I get sick, the first thing I always think of is, I don't want to touch my cats because I don't want to get them sick. Even though it's not the same sick, but I'm like, this could be it. This could be the time it transfers and mutates.
This is like the new plague that starts because we create a zoonotic disease by transferring a common cold to Khadgar.
Meanwhile, Persephone has a big cone on. But that's not because she's sick, it's because she's torn off her flesh so often that we were like, stop that.
So this was it wasn't a veterinarian mandated cone?
Well, no, this is a veterinarian mandated cone, but all they did was give her a steroid shot and be like, here's medicine that she'll take for a month to prevent itching. And then it's like, and the big thing to prevent itching is cone. And you'd think this woman is practicing for her death. She is just slowly meandering around, like scraping the cone, like. Yeah,
and we're like, I remember the days when Khadgar had one. And like, it is a distinct sound of it scraping on the ground.
Yeah, but don't worry, everyone. She's not sick. She's just being a little bitch. We'll see what she's doing in late February.
How many kids does she have again?
Oh, God, too many to count. Close your legs, hussy.
Yeah, you gotta get her fixed. So let's talk about wow.
Hey! I don't want anyone thinking 1, 0 because we got her as a child. 2, she's been fixed her entire life.
How old is she again? 8, 9.
Well, that's what the vet says because she lost all of her teeth because of bad genetics, and they were like, "Is your cat dying? Is it 16?" I was like,
The vet asked that question like yesterday?
No, that not this one, but when she originally got allergies, this was like 2 months ago, and we were searching around for like humane societies. The Humane Society of Huron Valley, which is not part of the Humane Society system, they're liars, was like, your cat has no teeth? And I was like, yeah, because like she had bad genetics and they had to get pulled because she was a street cat. That's indicative of a much older cat. This is really worrying. No, she just has stinky teeth and they took them all.
I told you why. I told you why she has no teeth. What's the problem?
So, regardless, she has a cone. She ain't got no teeth. I had to spoon feed her twice daily slop. She's in a bad way. But I'm in a good way because the World of Warcraft is crack-a-lackin'.
Crack-a-lacky, and we're I say we, I haven't done the soaring through the skies of the Outland Cup yet. I saw you get a little Achievo earlier today, Immune.
This is true. I am an Outland racer now.
Ooh, an Outland racist in our midst.
Yeah, it just goes to being a gamer. I'm first and foremost a gamer, and second most, I am a racist of Outland. And by that I mean I have gotten gold achievements on normal, advanced, and reverse. Have the title, bought all the new things. I think the Outland one was easier. It potentially is the easiest one yet. Like, I thought the
Not
original...
me, said the flea.
Oh, okay. Well, it may have been Kalimdor. Kalimdor I also thought was pretty easy, but like the... Wait, so Kalimdor, was Kalimdor the first one they did?
Yes, Kalimdor was the first one, and
That's
for those
the hardest
at home,
one, right?
Yeah,
Well-
I misspoke. I actually feel like they've gotten easier. Maybe I've just gotten better. I don't know.
I don't know. There were certain ones like the Razor Thorn Raceway, and God, that one wasn't hard, but you had to dip in and out of the bubble in Netherstorm like 8 times. I'm just like, just let me go. I'm tired of racing.
Yeah, I actually think the Netherdome... Well, actually, the Netherdome one and the ones in that zone, in the purple zone, were the hardest ones. And then, surprisingly, Shatrath I thought was the hardest outside of that area.
Because it had you going through like Arakoa homes, and like every so often one would be like, I'm lowering the bridge, just for me to dunk my head on.
Shit, are you an Outland racist too? Do I gotta catch up?
No, I'm not an Outland racist. I engage in racism in Outland, but if
We
you
gotta
look
stop. This is too dangerous. AI is gonna like ping our podcast as racist.
I engaged in racing, but I only did the normal courses, so I got that achievement, and then I just bought all the things. I'm like, that's fine by me.
Yeah, so the new things are basically they have a whole new set, which is a recolor of the original set. So this one is, I believe, like a darker brown and red. And I think it looks better than the original one, honestly.
I would agree. This is a much better set. Despite it being visibly the same, the colors are just better than the tan and white.
And then, in addition to that, they added 2 scarves. Like a white one that is meant to go with the old set and a red one that's meant to go with this current set. So those are available. And then also a toy, which allows you to just randomly have random customizations on your Drake.
Oh, okay. We're all gonna be using that toy, right?
Yes, I am. Even though
What?
I don't have as many customizations, but I am using that toy. Now, but what I want is even further. Just give me a random Drake button. Passion fruit, God's plan, third song. I don't care. I don't care which one I get. Just give me that, because the way it works is you just hit the button like of the dragon that you want, and then it gives you random customizations. But every time it's still the Wilder Drake, and I was like, oh.
So, okay, Aaron, if they gave us a Drake randomizer, would Anita Max Win be there?
Anita Max Win.
Ah, God, Anita Max Wind. Is this? I don't get this one. I'm sorry.
Anita Max Win.
Everybody who gets it is dying. Those who don't. The dolls that don't. The dolls that do.
It's okay. I will explain this for you. Randomly on a live stream, Drake was like, how did he preface this slide? He was like, "This one's for all the ladies out there with soft hands."
Ladies with gentle hands.
And then he's sipping on an espresso martini, and then he's like, Anita Max Win. And then he like shows this like drawing that somebody made. Maybe he made it, of this little like chibi character, and it says Anita Max Win. And then he's like, Anita Max Win. This is my alter ego.
And people are making
people are making like chibi like cute edits of him now because of it.
Was this the same one where they tried to use his card on something and it bounced and he went, embarrassing.
You would not surprise me. I love Immune telling the story secondhand through me. Who I saw this like 8 months ago, and it's not coming back again. And it's still funny whenever I see it. But yes, so because Drake Racer.
Yeah.
You got it. We're all on board now, folks.
Jokes are really funny when you have to explain them in such depth.
Honestly, getting the visualization of Drake and Anita Max Win did make me laugh again. So I agree.
But yeah, I'm done with Outland Racing now. I believe listeners or you Slide have until the end of the month. I think it ends on the 31st, so you have some time still.
When did this start?
It launched with the patch, I believe.
Did it really? Because I had not heard anything about it. I had not seen it in my journal. I guess you know what it is. You gotta catch up at the rostrum transformation, and you know I'm never over there. So I guess that's on me. Egg on my face.
I'm gonna have to get in there and do this. It's funny. I've actually been so I've been trying to figure out which quests, like for the epilogues, I still have to do, and it's so difficult when I have, I don't know, 5 to 6 characters that I'm bouncing between. I'm like, which one did this? So I got my evoker, and I'm like, surely my evoker has quests to do. And I've been clearing out old quests, and the amount of like things I have not done on him is amazing. Like I'm just now finishing the tier paladin storyline with him.
Honestly, I was a little jealous that Slide just got to do it all like in a row. I feel like the rest of us had to piecemeal it together over the course of how long would you say that storyline took, Aaron? Like 8 months?
Like 5. Yeah, 5. Well, like shit. Yeah, because they would give you like 3 or 4 for every mini patch. So yeah, that probably took 5 months to do, and you can do it all within maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, I finished it, and I was like, oh, cool, that was nice. That was a really nice little story. Like, it was great. You know, no complaints. Everything you guys said was valid. Whatever you guys said about 3 months ago.
Oh, also, before we dive into all the other new stuff, while it's still on my mind, DN Army, if you're doing the Outland Cup, go to the rostrum first, get the quest, because they have a quest that gives you 80 tokens, but you have to do every single race. So, like, I don't know, if you just did the racing and then came back, you'd have to do it again, I'm sure.
Happened to me on the last one.
Which is such a understandable change because, yeah, the rostrum used to give out quests, but it was just 3. Like, it would just cherry pick 3 of them to be like, I think you should get your feet wet. But it makes sense that now it's just like, okay, smart guy, just do them all. We'll give you a much bigger prize, but you got to do them all.
Yeah, and it was nice because then it just like I just followed the quest and it took me to like where I needed to go next. I think it just chose whichever one was closest too. It was actually a really nice path. Also, this is my first real experience like realizing that I could, dragon ride, fly everywhere. It was really nice getting around Outland, being able to just dragonfly from place to place.
Now, Immune, would you agree, and I feel like this was something, maybe this is just my problem with Dragon Outland Cup or whatever. Do you feel like there weren't enough? Like, we went to Bladespire, and there was 1, or Zangarmarsh had 1. I was like, I feel like we're hardly staying in all these zones that I've been hyping up for forever.
Yeah, I feel like, Shatrath's area had like 3 or 4, I think, and then I think every other zone just had 1 or 2.
Well, Prophet Velen has got a lockdown on racing. He loves betting on which racers are going to crash into his temple or whatnot,
Spoiler, it was me a few times.
Well, is his temple the Razorthorn Downs? Because I don't know. I had never even thought of this place, but I sure spent 7 minutes of my life there because I'd be racing and I'd dink off a Razorthorn. I'm like, what? And it's like, sorry, we have not fixed the collisions since 2007. Use your magical watch and start again.
Somebody in our Discord asked a great question. It may have been Muv. I don't remember. I'll look and I'll correct it whenever I find it. They asked if the evoker can dragonfly in an evoker form. And obviously you guys don't know the answer to that because you don't have evokers.
You mean like for the race?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like because Drakthir can soar. So like I was soaring, I was messing around with it. I can soar, and now my soar is actually fucking usable.
Yes,
because it acts like dragon flying.
Just as of this patch, they decided that soar equals dragon flying. I feel like I would have seen it at this point. I would have seen a little string beanie man line up with me and take flight. So I feel like no, unfortunately, they force you to ride your brother dragon still.
I don't know. It's really small. So like when I was dragon flying, I was just flying around on my evoker, and it felt honestly kind of. I felt like I was cheating. Like I was using no clip in Gary's mod. I was just flying this little tiny guy, just flying around. I could barely see myself sometimes. So I don't know. You might miss him zooming past you. But it was indeed Muv. Look at my memory. Fantastic.
Nice on!
Trying to think of another line, but I couldn't think of another one.
Eagle.
Strike.
Bogey. The Wii Sports announcer actually doesn't announce bogeys. It's weird.
Oh, proud.
Chip in.
Crowd jumps and spins in unison.
I want to talk about other stuff. I want to talk about how I got AOTC. Oh, no. I did it. Because everyone decided that 1 week after AOTC, it was time for the goofball parade.
Well, we did our achievements, which was
I guess,
whatever.
yes, that's also, yes.
But that did take up the whole first night, though. Honestly, I'm just proud of us for getting all of them done in the first night, if I'm being honest.
Okay, those achievements were kind of lame, weren't they?
Well, it was all kind of lame, and because I felt bad, I was like, so we did all the achievements, which there's really not any to really write home about, other than Volcaros features you have to make him eat little froglings, and they're led by apparently the main character of the expansion, Achievement Frog.
Why is he getting so much playtime? Like, what's going on here?
Honestly, this achievement frog has had more face time, more screen time than, like, Bane.
Than half the dragons in it.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, just all the achievements, they did it. And then at the very end, it was like, ooh, we get a mount. And I was like, what's the mount? And I see people running around on, like, their mana sabers. So I was like, it's weird that all these guys are pulling the same
Ugliest
mount.
ass cat I've ever seen in my life.
Not only is it an ugly cat, it's a fucking recolor of just one you can get for tripping over the ground in the Emerald Dream. Like, it comes in green, and then it comes in red if you buy it. And I was like, oh, those are cool. This one's just purple. It's the worst color.
Kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is somebody's bag, but it ain't ours, baby.
What was the Vault one? Because if I remember, the Aberrus one was just a recolored shale wing.
Oh,
Wasn't the Vault one a rhinoceros? It was like, it was bad too?
I think the Vault one was good, but the fact that I can't remember it, maybe I'm wrong. I'll Google it on mute in 1 second.
Yeah, but so yeah, the first night, Tuesday was the achievement run, and then Wednesday, I was all full of piss and vinegar. I was like, we're gonna get AOTC. But yes, as I very rudely put it before, but I'll gently say it now, people decided that this was their time for alts, which is whatever. You guys brought alts, but you brought competent alts. The thing is, a lot of people followed the path of the infamous Scott Rogue, and it's like, oh, do you mind?
Scott Rogue.
Do you mind if I bring Honor Human? It's my my warlock, and they just got some greens. And then Lynn, because he's not gonna tell anyone no. It's like, sure, bring him. Statistically, we should be able to beat stuff.
Well,
and then
when he asked, it was like 8:50. Like 5 minutes past our poll time, and he asked to switch, and everyone was like, dude, what the hell? Like, you've had so much time. We told you yesterday you could have swapped. Why are you waiting until now to do it?
Also, like, some of these people's alts were so low eye level that I'm like, how is that possible? I'm like, literally the Emerald Dream gives gear that is like 20 eye level higher than what they were wearing. These are like some barely 400 eye level alts. I'm like, literally, if anyone looks at you, you will die.
The fly around in the green and collect bubbles event that happens every week is giving out better gear than some of these people had. It's like, come on, man. I know a lot of people raid log, but it's like, I implore you to do things other than that.
The mount, sorry, I just wanted to say the mount before I forgot, for Vault of the Incarnates, was the Raging Mag Mammoth. Yeah, the Fire Mammoth.
Well, not terrible. That's certainly the best of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, when it comes to ground mounts, that one's pretty fucking hot. But people, like, when it's alt raid, when I hear the words alt raid, I'm gonna bring, like, a 450. Like, even if I'm like 440 something, I'm so like, I don't know, guys. Like, people coming in with like 400s is crazy.
Also, because you can just buy gear on the auction house for like literal singular like tens of golds and get up to like 430, right?
People are really gold stingy when it comes to buying things off the auction house for some reason. They're like, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm like, but my dude, your neck is like 400. You could buy an upgrade for like 3K. Like, I don't get it.
No, you are even overselling it. They have like some items that are on the auction house for like 100 gold.
It's like, come on.
I am so glad, and I don't know if it's internal tuning or what it is. There was a roll in there for pants, and I saw that Squishable had beaten me by 2, and I was like, Squishable? I don't recognize that name. So I pulled up the guild roster, and it was fucking Minnie. I was like, even on this alternative guy, he's still defeating me, but somehow it still gave me the pants? I don't know if it's like, well, internally we checked the /played, and on Squishable it's all of 12 minutes, so we'll give it to Growl. But I was like...
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I was like, thank God. My man is not going to be stealing my pants on this priest that I'm never going to see again.
You would have gotten it anyway. Mains before alts.
Well, I just feel bad because, like, if he was like, yay, I got the pants, I was going to be like, Lynn,
that's what
he
you
took
do.
my pants.
That
He
you
took my
say,
pants.
that's my bitch. Oh, Lynn would have said it because he was, well, yeah, he was doing it like the entire time. He was handling. But you know what's funny? So Lynn last week when we got AOTC, he compiled all of our kills that we've been like a group together since Tomb of Sargeras. There's graphs of our pull times or our total pulls and our time to pull going back to 2017. I have all this info right now at my fingertips.
I mean, did we talk about this or did we just talk about this off podcast with each other?
We did not talk about the numbers on the podcast because between Sanctum of Domination, right, and Boss of the Incarnates, both of those raids from Shadowlands and from this one, 244 pulls to clear the entire raid is what it took us, right? But the difference in hours is absurd. The Sanctum was Sylvanas, right?
Yes.
So for Vault of the Incarnates, we cleared it in about 16 hours. Was our total time invested as a raid across, the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sanctum of Domination, it looks like 26, 27 hours. Like a full, 10, 11 hours more.
I mean, it makes sense and it's the joke I make week after week after week, but you figure if you had 4 pulls on Sylvanas, that is an hour. That is, if you are making it to part 3, you have wasted 13 to 15 minutes of your life.
Yeah, and Sylvanas was most, I think we said it the other week or something, our time spent on Sylvanas was longer than every raid combined since.
I really want to send this. Hey, if you're a Blizzard employee listening, this graph would be great for your guys' internal raid testing because I feel like our guild is like the mark you're trying to hit, right? For these raids, a bunch of people who don't know what they're fucking doing. But I would say maybe 3/4 of them are kind of just going with whatever works, and 1/4 is just try hard doing dungeons all the time for no reason.
I think you're right, though. I feel like our guild is probably the most mid-average guild there is. Probably. I feel like we're a pretty average guild. Maybe slightly below average, but I feel like it would be, you're right, it would be a good, measuring stick.
We haven't struggled like we have in Shadowlands since Tomb of Sargeras with 217 pulls. Everything after that was easy up until Nathria. So, I don't know. Hey, I'm just saying, if y'all that are still around want any of this info, let me know.
But yeah, back to raid chat. I think Lynn said that he was saving the lockout so we can just go to T-Swift and Farrak because on our reclear we didn't make it to...
For whatever reason, he said that Smolderon is the best that we can do. So on Tuesday, we will be doing Smolderon, T-Swift into Farrak.
I really don't want to I'm so sick of Smolderon with this guild. It's Smolderon with any other group. I've killed Smolderon so many times. It's so easy. I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I know what the fuck we're doing. We're standing in fire. Smolderon, how many people were alive? 4 people were alive at the end of it?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Fire everywhere. You guys were standing in the only pockets of space that were even available anymore.
Yeah, it's been rough. At least we've been getting him down. I thought for a while we would just save lockouts to just make sure to skip it just because we were scared. But it's been rough. Very much so like on-farm kills, and by that I mean you know, typical on-farm for us, like limping across the finish line.
And speaking of limping across the finish line, here's everyone's third favorite Worgen, who is a mage with a journalism degree, Growlina. Welcome one, welcome all. Growlina back again to give you the scoop that you need to hear. I'm here, waiting for our next archaeological adventure with my good friend Yertle. Yurt, I may be talking out of my ass here, but is this the first time you've seen any of us adventurers dig a hole? You mean the digging animation? With the shovel? Yeah! Yeah, they just added that animation. You could hold shovels before, but no one ever used them. If that's the case, then how do we get graveyards and stuff? Don't you need shovels to dig those? I suppose they were just dug with pickaxes. Hours and hours and hours of hitting the ground with pickaxes. Crazy that we live in a world of flying mechanical cars and cities deep underground. But this is the first time anyone's dug a hole. One of Warcraft's greatest mysteries, I guess. Too true, my friend. Speaking of mysteries, it's a mystery how these jokers manage to stay on the air. But honestly, I play around. I'd be dirt poor without this gig. Anyways, part 2 coming at you right now. Alright? So before we address any sort of big serious news in the second half here, I just want to say, Azerothian Archives, it's officially been a week. What are we feeling about this thing?
I do not give a shit about the Azerothian Archives. I have not gone back. I honestly probably won't go back. You know what I did do? I was like, okay, let me go do a big dig. I'm going to go do a big dig and see what's up. I get there and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Another stupid thing that's on an hour timer? I don't care. I don't want to fucking have to live my life by, is it 7 o'clock? Is it 8 o'clock? Is it not? No, I want to do it if I fucking want to do it. Stop with the time shit. Make it so it happens whenever. Fuck the Azerothian Archives.
Yeah, and then also the big dig moves apparently.
No.
I guess
I mean, like week to week maybe, but no, it's been in that same spot, like slightly to the right of Yscara since the patch opened up for me.
Oh, I was pretty sure today it was in like Theldraszus.
I guess I didn't do it today, so I could be talking out of my ass, but that's the only time I've ever seen it.
I don't have the patience to start doing little itty bitty micro movements of my stupid little crystal, my dumb little arc. No, I don't care. I'm gonna go help the paladins from 5 months ago.
Slidewhistle said, I'm not doing this content. I'm going to do things I should have done a year ago.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's tough because I do like these little events, but there really is no point to this one because all it is like there's no story, there's no trinkets
What's happening?
Fun
like,
toys.
so what are you doing?
It's the classic, like, you stand there, and then they may or may not give you, like, a task. Is it still buggy where he doesn't give you tasks very often?
Yeah. Well, I did one with only 10 people, and he gave you more tasks. I think it's just he gives tasks out to people, but because it's new, there's so many people that it's just you don't get it a lot of the time. And when you're not doing tasks, what you do is you dig up pieces of archaeology. But to do it, all you do is you walk over to it and you right click on it and then you start digging.
Yeah, it's
and that's it. It's
very much
it's
so
not,
Holes energy where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
It's non-gameplay. You just sit there and you dig and you might dig for a minute and then you go to the next one and you dig at that And
You know what it is? It's literally RuneScape mining.
yeah, you're just swinging your pickaxe until the bar goes all the way up, and then you go somewhere else and do that. So that's the only positive, is that it is such anti-gameplay that like I can latch onto a node and then be like, how's it going today? Like I don't feel bad typing, like talking to people, because it's like, well,
Okay.
I am
positive.
doing everything that I can.
Also, is this the world event that has the highest inflation of currency that we've ever seen? Like the currency it gives you is like what, like pages of research or something, and like it just like shits it out at you. Like I feel like they give you like thousands of them, but you need like thousands of them to buy anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, because even the shittiest of backpacks is 15,000 currency. The mount is 20,000 currency. Yeah, I don't know. That's also my big thing about Azerothian Archives is every NPC moves to the Big Dig except the lady that sells you things. You have to find her. And if anyone's ever tried to cash in, they know my pain. Finding the Azerothian Archives building is really difficult because it's just in Algathar somewhere.
They should really add like an icon on the map for it. I don't think that there is one, but it's the place
No.
where you like started your tutorial things that I didn't do last week, right?
Yeah, it's that building, but I only ever, whenever I go to turn it in, I sort of hover around Algathar and I was like, I have to visit 3 or 4 buildings before I eventually accidentally find it.
What is the best reward out of the Azerothian Archives, and will it convince me to do it?
Probably not. For 20,000 currency, you can get a rhino mount. He is tan, and I think he has some bags strapped to him.
And then I believe the Mog is mainly... Is it just a recolor of the Explorer one that you guys had for recruiting
It
people?
is the recolor of the Explorer one with 3 different
Ooh.
backpacks, and the hat is slightly different.
Okay, this sounds familiar. Now, this sounds like we talked about this before. Okay, maybe I have to. I just feel like it's just so mind-numbing. It's like when I go, like I've been going and doing the fucking. What's the last one we had to do like this? The
Time Rift.
Time rifts. Yeah, I was doing that. I'm on my characters to get healing trinkets because it's crazy how good those healing trinkets are. My priest is still rocking a 450 healing trinket, the Valinir shield or whatever, because it's better than trinkets I'm getting, and I'm like, what's going on with that?
That is actually kind of crazy.
But like
Time Rift, at least you had to go and you had to fight stuff, and then you'd go into a portal and fight that thing. You were engaged.
And I thought it was kind of unique that they had like each scenario had like different items that you would collect that would do different quest lines for the overall achievement. And you know, I feel like we shit on the Time Rift a lot, but I feel like all these events have just gotten worse. The Time Rift, in comparison to what these Azerothian Archives Big Dig is, it's leagues better, honestly.
yes, as you go down the list, researchers under fire, which again, I feel like we had this conversation like 2 weeks ago, but
I did not. I will say, and not to break the chain, I liked Time Rifts more than
same,
researchers
same.
under fire.
I was gonna say, well, I don't think that's true because I think I hated that one more than I actually don't mind time refs. Like after doing them, like I almost have the achievement, but like I got my stuff and I got out and I'm like, well, I don't have to do it anymore, so I'm not getting that achievement.
Or
Yeah.
even like Super Bloom. I don't know. I like Super Bloom. You know what? I don't even know, because Super Bloom.
Super Bloom took too long though.
Super Bloom feels equally as empty as Azerothian Archives, but instead of me just casually like RP walking between things and right clicking it every minute or so, I have to feel like I'm participating to do nothing.
It's kind of crazy. After all the ones that I've shit on, I feel like I'm the closest to finishing the Time Rifts meta achievement than I am. Definitely under fire researchers. I'm nowhere near close to doing that one. And Super Bloom, I'm missing like 3, but I have no motivation to go do them. I don't want to sit there for 15 minutes.
I'm very thankful that in like the first 2 weeks of this of the
10.2.
that patch, I had a lot of motivation and I got the meta achievement for it, so I don't even have to think about it anymore. It got to the point though where like the super bloom just got so repulsive to me. It felt like it took too fucking long. So like for the weekly, I would literally just get there, pick up the quest, get the 50 bloom or whatever, and then fly to where I knew it was going to be ending, and then AFK until the final boss came, and then tag it.
That's what I was doing at work. I would go there, my break would end right when the super bloom would start. I mean, it's still happening. And I'll go to the super bloom and I'll park. I'll go into the facility, walk around, come back 7 minutes later, and I'll move my character to the other tree location for the fruits, and that's it.
Okay, so then this is another sort of bittersweet milquetoast statement I will make of Big Dig, is that all of these events, the more you participate, the bigger the reward. And so if you got a group that wasn't doing anything, you're like, damn it, we'll never make it out of green, or we'll never make it out of blue. Big Dig, if you get 100 pieces of research, you get a reward.
Okay.
It could be green, it could be blue, it could be purple.
It's random?
It's random in no particular order. So sometimes you'll wait there for 49 minutes, do the whole damn thing, and you're like, I got 3 greens. But sometimes you're like, wow, we got 2 blues and 3 purples for no particular reason. Same amount of effort went into this. So at least people being there doesn't hamper whether or not you get a thing.
Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. I think we should actually really be enjoying these things. Haven't we said repeatedly we want WoW to disrespect our time? I think this was made for us. The ultimate time disrespect. You sit around and get nothing.
It really is. They said, okay, tell you what, we won't even give you gameplay to ruin your time anymore. Click on that piece of dirt. Cool new animation we gave you, huh? See you in 45 seconds when you get to do it again.
So, okay, while we're talking about the world events that have disrespected our time and over varying levels in Dragonflight, I'm going to pull a quick DNR thought.
Papa, tell us a story. Yes, Papa, a story.
How about you come and pull up a chair? These are DNR thoughts.
All right. DNR thoughts. The thoughts of the DNR.
Papa.
Anita Max win.
Anita Max win.
Wow. Okay, so correct me if I'm missing any here. The community events that we've had to endure in Dragonflight have been so we have like the original ones that are soup, and are we counting the Grand Hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And the trip to Fire Tower.
The what? Trip to Fire Tower? What the fuck
Sorry,
is that?
I was eating
What are
beef.
you eating? What are you eating at work right now?
Oh, I'm eating beef. But
Beef? What do you mean
it's
beef?
chicken.
Like a sandwich?
It's
Oh,
chicken.
speaking
It's
of
chicken.
beef.
I thought it was beef.
Well, he said beef because it's the one where you had to feed beef snacks, right? Is that why?
Yeah,
you said this?
there you go. That wasn't a flub up. It was, I don't remember what it was, but you start in Waking Shore and you go and you invade a tower in the Jarden area.
Siege of Dragonbane Keep.
Siege of Dragonbane Keep, which, if I may say, of the originals, worst one.
Worst one. I forgot it was even one of them because I did it once and I was like, well, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Oh, and am I missing anything from the original ones, or is that it?
What did you do in Theldraszus?
Oh, there was that original one that was kind of a soft time rift where you would have to go into like the frosty area. I don't know if that had a name or if we're counting it.
That one's the worst.
What are you talking about? What's that one?
There's like another world boss in there. You like go to like
yeah, you go through a time portal in like where like the mega dungeon is now, and you'd go to a frosty time where the primalists win, and you have to unlock 5 gates by killing primalists near them, and then kill a big boss, and it would give you like a purple treasure and sometimes a world boss would be in there. But yeah, no one was doing that thing.
I don't even. Okay, is that the same area where I was farming necklaces for the bear people?
No.
Oh, I don't even. The fact that I don't even know what this is worrying me. Is my memory slipping? Did I never do this?
Perhaps you never did it. It is actually going to be okay. So quickly, let's just get through all of them because my DNR thought is going to be us ranking them. So then after that is the next one. Researchers under fire.
Skara Vaults. I would say.
Jesus.
I wouldn't. But Skara Vaults is like a personal thing, right?
I guess. Yeah. What was it? There were things on the Forbidden Reach. It was like a big skull with a purple circle around it, but I never did one.
Do we count the big fight pit with the animal powers in the smart people area? What's it called? The one where you fight with the powers?
The Cobalt Assembly?
Yes, is that because, like, you're fighting people?
No, because that doesn't have an icon. In my opinion, you need to have a horn symbol.
Okay, the horn.
Okay, so just quickly now, we have Grand Hunt, we have Soup, we have original Frosty Time Rift, we'll call it, and we have, I'm going to say that we're not going to include the Skara Vault just because I feel like it was a personal one, not like a community-based one.
Okay, number 1, Chef, obviously. Yes, Chef, you're cooking with my man. Number 2 is going to be the Grand Hunt, because at least it moved, it's dynamic, you get a little bit change of pace sometimes. Even if it isn't knowing the catch, but you could do it like multiple times a day. I think it was, pretty nice and great for leather skinning. Number 3, I don't even know. At that point, they're all the same.
If those are the 4 we're putting up, then I have to say...
I wasn't done. So
well, there you go.
Researchers on Fire, Super Bloom, and Time Rifts, and Big Dig, I guess.
I think which one of those is the best one out of the pool.
So a lot of these are murky. I'm going to say, as annoying as it was, I'm going to say Time Rift is 1, Soup is 2. It's really a big mix-up in the middle.
Yeah.
And then then like the definitive stinkers, the last 3 were...
Frost one is the last one. Frost.
Yeah,
Rift.
Frost one's the last one, and then Siege, because I feel like Siege was also tough because you didn't know when it was going to happen. The horn only showed up when it was actively going, and by the time you were there, it was over.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the only one that like could be expedited. Like it ended up being like really fast. Like you would miss it like in legitimate 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just don't have much to say. Like, Azerothian Archives isn't terrible, but it's just kind of mid.
I feel like it's solid mid for me.
Researchers is kind of mid.
I feel like Researchers is lower mid for me, and I think my front runner is actually Time Rift, and my bottom one is Frosty Time Rift, and then Researchers on Fire down there, and I think Soup is up near the top, and surprisingly, I didn't mind Grand Hunts. At least they're kind of like always happening, which is easier. So
well, also a lot of people will remember, because I know it happened to like a bunch of people. You would accidentally fly over them as they were finishing, and it would count. Like I got
the mount that way too. Yeah,
I got the woolly mammoth mount by accidentally flying over one.
Just this whole DNR thought made me realize exactly how many of these there were, because we just completely forgot about Dream Surges too.
Wow. Yeah. There's a lot of these guys.
Yeah. So sorry that I did this to us, but I'm gonna undo this to us now because I feel like we could ramble forever about this.
I want to ramble about important, hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah.
Blizzard laid off 1,900 employees between all of their many companies, primarily of which are the team for, Odyssey, the secret survival game, and I guess a large majority of the customer service team.
Honestly, the customer service team thing really got me. When I saw the tweet that the man posted saying that like the customer service team was like the best high quality team, and I'm like, customer support for Blizzard has not been good since we've been playing this game, I feel like.
Combined between literally everyone I know, that everyone I've ever talked to that has had an interaction with Blizzard customer service, it's been negative. I mean, I've told my experience on this show about how, like, when I accidentally purchased a Sojourn skin in Overwatch 2 because their UI bugged out, and like me pressing enter as a game was ending when I was trying to type something, bought the skin, and I submitted a ticket for it. They didn't respond for like 2 or 3 weeks. And when they did, they're like, sorry, we can't undo that. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't undo that? You obviously can. Like, I know you can.
Like, I'm not saying they deserve to be fired, but I don't know why people are pretending our customer support team was a gold star service, is where I'm coming from. But, like, it sucks. But when it's a merger, so, like, the infrastructure for Microsoft, I'm sure, has people they want to use. It sucks, but business is business.
And the upcoming survival game being like effectively canned sucks too. But like for the people who are working on it, I mean, like I personally don't like survival games, which is why I watched Slide play Pale World for a bit, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it because I don't want to play a survival game, honestly. So I hope they take those assets and use them for something else, for a different type of game, like they did when Titan died and then eventually became Overwatch, because Titan was supposed to be an MMO, right?
Yeah, and it blows for people who are like the art team. Like, that's gotta fucking suck. Like, you put so much work into making all these things, and then like it basically gets thrown into a trash can. Like, that's ass. Like, I'm curious how much of because Mike Ybarra, the president of Blizzard or whatever he was, is no longer. He quit. He didn't get fired. He quit. So did Alan Adheim. He quit too. So I'm curious what the behind the scenes things looks like. Was it a quit because of the canning of the survival game? Was it a quit because Mike Ybarra worked Microsoft for 22 years and then he wasn't and now he is again, and then he's like, I don't want to do that again. Lots of interesting stories I'm sure will be coming out maybe sometime soon, but I don't know. Who am I?
Yeah, I feel like everything really is speculation.
If I'm remembering correctly, was Ibarra... They just sort of, like, Microsoft just sort of put him there, right? Or someone put him there. Like, he did a job as president.
He's Game Pass, man. He's Microsoft Game Pass guy. He, like, got Game Pass, like, off the ground, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, not that, like, this departure is like, fuck you guys, I was never gonna stay. But I wonder how much of that is, like, they're putting someone in that's Microsoft's man, and he and that other woman, they were supposed to be the bridge between, like, the shitstorm that was Blizzard 2022 and now.
It could be. I was, the internet speculations off the walls. People were claiming Mike Ybarra was forced out of Microsoft, whatever that means, and that he was subtweeting Phil Spencer, whatever that means. And everyone's just kind of guessing at this point. But it is interesting, and I'm curious what this. It doesn't mean anything for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, like what was how because Mike Ybarra was like he's a WoW player. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like we know very quickly he sells carriers with his guild. It's a lot of weird stuff going on right now, but Microsoft's new boss is in charge. Bobby's out, so who knows what's going on. Hopefully there's no more layoffs, honestly, because like gaming layoffs have been kind of crazy lately.
Yeah, not even just like Microsoft Blizzard type thing. I feel like it's been happening everywhere. But also I feel like it shouldn't really be that surprising that this is happening to Blizzard right now, because I feel like when a company gets acquired, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, it happened with WWE and UFC, that merger. They lost people because it's like you have two advertising teams, you have two of this, two of that. But I mean, again, I don't know. I don't work there. I would like to know, like, exactly, like, what the breakdown is. Like, how many were customer support? 3? 5? How many do they even have? You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that why it took so long? It was just, like, one guy named Jim, and that's like, he's like, I can't do it because, I'm doing other things.
Yeah, their customer service was it was 2 guys, and when they're like, they've gutted the majority of the team, like, they sent an email to Jim, and it was like, but Stan, you get to stay. Oh, yeah, nice. Because you fought long and hard to keep that $19 of Immunization's money. That's the reason that we're still afloat. Yeah, I did it.
Borellus ring will never be fixed under my watch. I'm curious if we're going to see more. I have a feeling maybe. These things come in waves, I feel like, right? Like,
You mean more like corporate reorganizing, more firings?
more layoffs.
That'd be wild. Ugh. I mean, I know nothing is surprising in the world of capitalism, but for almost 2,000 people to go, and then like a couple days later, they're like, and here's 2,000 more. See ya.
I just feel like we're at an all-time high of like businesses being shitty. I just feel like they're just like they're so transparent with it, and they're so just like, yeah, whatever, fuck them. That it's getting kind of bleak out there in the corporate world. Sorry to bring the mood down, everyone. Here, add some clown noises in to make it funny. Did you add them in?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because one Microsoft sort of statement I saw was that they were like canceling projects and moving people out to focus on different new projects, which is interesting that they'd be like, no, it's for new stuff. Because I know when Riot fired like 3,000 people the other day, they were like, look, Valorant and League make a da money. That's all we need to focus on. So it's interesting that Microsoft wouldn't be like, we're just really honing in on like the 4 or 5 products we have right now.
Oh, do you think BlizzCon's at risk? Because if they're cutting things that make money, I don't know how much money BlizzCon makes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like the fact that people, not to be like victim blame, like the fact that you watched it, you viewer, but the fact that they had an online version that was like semi-successful, they're like, well, damn, that sure. All we did was run 3 live stream cameras and put a bunch of MP4s in there. That was a lot cheaper and more effective than like having people live and seeing people smoke out the Dark Moon Fair.
Right, and like with the death of E3, every gaming company is just kind of does their own, here's what we're doing, here's your annual, look at what we're doing. Why do we need to have sweaty nerds in the fire marshal down our neck when the Dark Moon Fair is too full if we could just do it all online and say fuck you? So I kind of have a feeling 2024 might be BlizzConless. Maybe it'll come back 2025, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'm talking on my ass. I mean, I am.
Well, I'm just glad that I went to the last one ever.
No, don't say that.
All lack of seating and everything. As I was sitting there, drunk as shit with my bare ass cheeks on the ground, watching Limit defeat Complexity for the Mythic Cup, I thought, great, I never want to do another one of these, ever.
Hey, they updated the Gilnean suit to add ruffles, not ridges.
Yeah,
we already said that.
But you didn't say ruffles, not ridges.
We did not make that specific joke, everyone. Rest assured, your yellow Lay's potato chip suit is now a bag of blue original ruffles.
Something that we didn't talk about, though, is that all across Valdrakken, there are a bunch of, like, interactions that you can witness. The classic, like, stay a while and listen, which, like... So, I was talking to Slide about this earlier. The way that they're set up kind of reminds me of... You know how, like, in Fire Emblem, when, like, you get to certain checkpoints, then, like, there are just interactions that you can view?
Yeah. Oh, you want to watch Donald talk to Sahara?
It's very much so that vibe. But, like, there are several that are interesting. I feel like to us, probably the one with Shaw and Gen is the most interesting. It's, like, by the portals in the main hall of Valdrakken. And basically, they just talk about An-duin and about where he's going.
Yeah, they saw him in Kalimdor, and then Gen's like, do we know where he could be going? And then Shaw's like, I can tell you what, it's sharp and sandy, baby.
I love this.
Which would have more impact if we didn't already know he was there, but what can you do when they're announcing future content?
So Gen is like, oh, you certain it's him? And he's like, yeah, we saw him in Ratchet. He's buying supplies. I don't know, he's traveling south. People are on his tail, but he lost them in the Barrens. How do you lose? And the Barrens is the flattest piece of land. An-duin is very clearly walking on foot. He's not on a mount. Imagine walking across the entire continent of Kalimdor. He's not going that fast. He doesn't have the chauffeur mount.
Listen, An-duin walked behind a tree, and out from the other side was Manduin with his little drawn-on mustache again, and they just could not tell where An-duin went.
/tar An-duin. /tar Manduin to cover your bases for a name change. They could find him. What is SI7 up to?
Are you An-duin, King of the Alliance? No, I'm not. Look at that over there! And the orc turns his head and and then he turns back and he watches An-duin run in a straight line for the next 15 minutes.
An-duin bought the fucking transmog toy from the store to hide himself in the world. He's walking around his bosses just shouting lines out.
I couldn't see him, sir. He used the Naga toy to turn into a giant Naga and slither away.
His name was changed.
I thought that was probably him, but I don't know. I didn't want to do a false report. There's so much legal paperwork in this new horde.
This part is really interesting, though. Master Matthias Shaw says, "Should I inform Lord Commander Turalian?" Gen says, "No. Not until we know more. Let's keep this quiet, Spy Master." So what's going on? Why are we hiding this from Turalian if he's supposed to be trusted? They have a reason to not trust him, maybe. You know what I mean? Is it going to happen? Is he going to go crazy?
That, or they're just like, we don't want to concern him with something that we don't have the full story of. But the connotation was kind of like they just didn't want to get Turalian involved, because it was almost like Gen still trying to protect An-duin almost.
Yeah, I want it to be like their secret double dealings, triple crossing, but it's probably just like, or like Turalian would ask him to come home, and we don't want to bother An-duin with that just yet.
Well, he's dating that Void lady, and he's gonna tell her immediately anything. They're dating. They're married.
They'll like tie up An-duin and torture him with void magic to try to figure out why he's wandering among the sand of Kalimdor instead of just asking him.
Sometimes it's what you gotta do, you know? Obviously this is gonna go somewhere, and I'm excited. I think we're gonna keep getting little breadcrumbs like this, hopefully, like, leading, like, because, like, wait, this is the last patch, right?
Okay,
no,
so this is another
not
thing.
at all. No. We are looking at to 10.2.7, I believe.
Right, 2.7. Okay, so I'm hoping we get more of these, like, little interactions leading up to it.
Oh, also, we're getting 10.2.6, the one with the pirate symbol. That's coming out soon.
That's probably going to be nothing.
Well, it was actually just added on encrypted things, and I saw this one theory going around Twitter that like the timeline of when past patches have been added to the encrypted server to when they have launched, this potentially lines up with it coming out on like April Fools.
Okay, so maybe they're gonna play into the pirate joke. We can go into our top 2, bottom boot, medium moot. I'll kick us off first because I actually have one ready this time.
Ooh, 2.
It's a top 2. It's a little old. It's from when was our last time walking? Last week? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
2 months ago?
No, it wasn't 2 months ago.
I think it was 2 months ago.
Time walking?
Yeah.
No, there was one like last week. I forget which one it was, but there was one recently. I didn't do it, but
nice try, bucko. I got a source checker.
I'm trying to fuck with his mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
So I was leveling up my namesake, Slidewhistle, my demon hunter, getting him some gear, getting him some stuff. And I had, so like, you know how when you do a dungeon in time walking for the 5 quests, and then like someone immediately presses like re-queue with the party, that way the tank and healer come with you so you get instant queues. Mm-hmm. That's me. I'm always doing that. So I ended up doing 5 dungeons with the same tank and the same healer. And this healer kept hooking me up. Starshifter from Jubathos. If you are a listener from Jubathos, please email us at DoNotRelentpod@gmail.com and let us know why you're on that server. That's what I want to know.
Well, they're probably connected from their other servers, right? Because like that, I think that's one of the servers where like a bunch of smaller servers were forced onto, and that's why it's known as like I think they call it like connected Jubathos.
Oh, well, I want to know if that's true because I haven't heard that. But Starshifter literally was forcing gear down my throat. Every piece of gear Starshifter got, immediately opened trade and traded me. And I was like, thank you so much. He goes, no problem. And like, they gave me so much gear. On the last dungeon we did, I left, like, I got my 5. I left the group. I'm like, thank you guys so much. I'm going to go get my item now. Starshifter of Jubathos whispers me and says, I got Ring of the Traitor King if you want. They whispered me after we had already separated the groups. And they added me to a party to specifically give me gear in Valdrakken. Has anybody from a time-walking dungeon ever tried to give you shit post-dungeoning?
No one's ever tried to give me anything in the dungeon even. Like, I feel like the time walking is like a Wild West thing. Aaron's experience where somebody who's trying to get achievements done in there is like a weird thing. And I feel like most of the time no one says anything. You're in and out. If you don't need a thing, you just vendor it.
Yeah, so if you know Starshifter, exactly how you think I said it, from Jubathos, let them know they're fucking wonderful. I've never in my life been treated with such kindness. Like that was crazy. I would throw it away. I would delete it before I whispered somebody if you need this.
It's got to be a money laundering thing. It's got to be like he owes a couple thousand to like a 2-bit pokey, and it's like, so we're gonna beat the Ring of the Traitor out of you. We know you got it. No, I swear it's not here. A friend's holding on to it for me.
You know, that's a very valid theory. Or it could be that Jubathos is actually a cult, and they're trying to, that's why it's like US-connected Jubathos realm server here.
They were trying to love bomb you.
Yeah, they're trying to connect you to their server. By that, they're trying to add you to their hive mind, their cult.
Oh, the cult of Starshifter of Jubathos. I would join it if it means I get all the gear all the time. I mean, I'm in.
Join us, brother Slidewhistle. One by one, we will walk into the molten core's lava and log off forever.
After we get our banana suit. What about you? Me and what's your top toot, bottom boot, medium moot?
Well, I also have a top toot. And it was that, like, I fucking eat up, like candy, these races. Like, I am a racist at heart. And Aaron, I can't believe you did this to us, Aaron.
Us?
Immune, if one thing I know about him, he's very particular about his races. Known racist that he is.
Yeah, I just love these like racing things that they've been doing. I hope they keep it up. I hope we get one all the time, and then I hope they cycle back through them. So you know how like there's certain things that like you feel obligated to do. It almost feels like it's a chore to start them, but then like you're like, I just gotta do it. It's just what I do. But then when you get there, you enjoy it. Like that's kind of how I feel about these. Like I was like, I gotta do this before we run out of time. And then it's just what I did all afternoon today, and I just enjoyed it.
Get that race in. I feel inspired to do it. I mean, now that I know I have so many days left to get the shit.
Yeah, and I hope they keep adding like different recolors, other skins, other cosmetics. I really like it. Yeah, so definitely toot worthy here for the Outland Cup. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But Aaron, what do you got?
Well, I also have a top toot, but I'm afraid it's a little bit of a soft toot on this one.
Soft toot.
And it is that, yes, I did throw myself at the Azerothian archives as much as possible. I'm on my old shit. I'm setting a timer every 49 minutes to go and do it if I have the day off. Oh, it's terrible. But through that diligence, I have already acquired the Big Tan Rhino.
You're setting alarms for this shit? You really do that every time?
I do that every time. It's like when I was time riffing. I do it. I go. I just absent-mindedly. Sometimes, the other day, I didn't even go and do anything else. I sat there next to the tent and I played Warcraft Rumble because I don't want to leave our guy down.
I don't want to let him down. You guys better be fucking rumbling because Papa Cheese abandoned us. He got 0 for Meme Mouse.
Meme Mouse Mob. But I just sat there and I rumbled for 49 minutes until it was time for the next one. But yeah, I got the Rhino. I don't care. I don't much like it. I'm never going to see it because they only Dynamic flying means you'll only ever see your flying mounts now. And that's the big thing. I got the big thing, and now I'll just throw myself at Azerothian archives for what? Gloves? A hat? Brown pants? There's nothing to look forward to anymore, but I will do it. Because if there's repeatable, easy, brain-numbing content, I will be there.
I'm telling you, Aaron, you would like Pet Battle Dungeons. It's very much the same energy, except you control when you do it. Set a timer and just randomly do it at 5:30 each day. You get some good stuff.
Do you get good stuff from them?
Yes! Yes, just do it. Trust me.
Speaking of trust, these fine folks have placed their trust in us via our Patreon. That's patreon.com/DoNotRelent. These ranks include Command Sergeant Major Tjurla, Ahoy Vince, NSYNC/Drag Race, Azarin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, "For the Horde." It's nice to be back. You heard me in the middle of the show when Aaron inserted a growl in the prowl that was not there in the initial recording. Mitch wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Kick Puncher, Jerome, Seixas and Soup, Adorno, Losing the Patient, Gershom, Big Papa Crispy's Big Mama, Calcus, a tired Void Elf. Wooly, Slidewhistle, Secret Stalker, tee-hee-hee-hee. Muv, Adam N. Vanderlyle, and Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
Holla holla, we love those who give us dollars.
My last name is Holla. If I married Mr. Back, I'd be Holla Back.
Holla back at our email at DoNotRelentpod@gmail.com. Holla back at me at NavarraCoffin@gmail.com. I got an email the other day from Google telling me to change my password because it was unsafe. What about you guys?
Which means you can probably guess the password pretty easy.
No, you can't. Don't try. Come on. Where can they find you guys on the internet? Where are you at?
Well, you see, I ain't no hollaback girl, but you can find me on Twitter at New Era Alex, and you can find me on the Blue Sky at Immunization.
That I had a substitute teacher in the Ipsy area that would do that. She'd be like, "My name is Holla, so if I married Mr. and it'd be like, back at your girl at, I'd be Mrs. Holla at," and we'd be like, "No, you'd be Mrs. at, probably." That's how, like, marriage typically works.
Mrs. at.
Anywhom, I'm Aaron. You can find me at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter.com, and you can follow the show on any social media by going to our Linktree. That's Linktr.ee/DoNotRelentpod. Think of a social media. We got it. It's there.
All right. We're out of here. Snake? Snake? Snake!
Kept you waiting, huh?
No.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
It's like one of my Japanese animes.